So create a Apex class which will insert a new contact for the given account ID. Given account. So we are taking two parameters. Parameter 1, instance of a contact. Parameter 2, ID of the account. So what is our requirement? This method has to create a new contact by taking that account ID as a parent ID. Right. So if you want to do this, what is the functionality we are supposed to do, boss? If you want to do this, what is the functionality we are supposed to do? I am going with developer console. Contact create. Now, if you want to create a contact, what I'm doing? At the rate of URA enable. At the rate of URA enable. Now, at this point, I had one question here. We are always defining the method as at the rate of URA enable. Boss, if you want to pass any variable of the class in the Lightning, how will you pass? So all the examples what we have defined, we are defining them as a class with a method, and that method we are defining as at the rate of URA enable. Boss, if you want to pass attribute of a class to the Lightning, how will you define? We only defined a methods here. If you want to pass any particular variable of a class, that variable should be defined at the rate of URA enable. It's not only for the method, it is also for the variables of the class which you want to use in the Lightning. From the Lightning component or a Lightning application, if you want to have an access to the members of the class, when I use a word members of a class, it can be a variable or it can be a method. As per our requirement, everything we have taken as a method, so we are not taking any variable as of now. So if you want to pass a variable of a class from the Apex to the Lightning, that variable also should be defined as at the rate of URA enable. Remember that point. Maybe down the line I'll be using it. Right. Okay. So what was the requirement here? Now, what was the requirement? We are passing a contact record and we are passing the ID of an account. So what we are doing? So contact dot other phone contact dot account ID equal to. So this contact is a child of where ACC ID is the ID of account. ID of the account. ACC ID is the ID of the account. Now I am taking that ACC ID as a parent ID. Insert. Then what is the return type we give? I want to just return true or false. If you want to create, you can create like so I want to give whether that contact was successfully inserted or not. whether the contact was successfully inserted or not. Whether the contact was successfully inserted or not. If it was successfully inserted, I am returning flag true, otherwise flag equal to false. So this method is going to return you true or false, whether the corresponding contact was inserted into database successfully or not. Okay. Next, we are supposed to create a component, lightning component. What is the purpose of this lightning component? Now this lightning component require two elements. This lightning component require two elements. First point is how to create a form. How to create a form. First one is how to create a form. How to create a form. Right. So let us take the first element here. Just to save some time, I am just doing it. So most of the elements are known to you. Contact form. Okay. First of all, what is the first line I have given? Control equal to name of the Apex class. Contact create. Then why are you implementing this? Force. Why are you implementing this? Why are you implementing this? Force, lightning, quick action without header. Now I can also give here force as I am giving two attributes. What was that? Force, lightning, quick action without header. Force has record ID, two interfaces. What is the purpose of this interface? Whenever you want to create a quick action or a global action, that component has to implement force, lightning, quick action, or force, lightning, quick action without header. Now already we have seen, if I don't want the header and footer, then I can go with without header. Only the body of the component will be displayed in the model. With the header, I want to have lightning, quick action. What is the other one? Force has record ID. It is going to take the ID of the record from where we are referring this action. Okay. Now we already had attribute, record ID, attribute, record ID. Whichever the record ID is coming here, that record ID we are referring. The next one, attribute new contact. Why this new contact? I want to create a new record. I want to create a new record. Now if I want to use lightning data services, then what I will use? Record data, record ID equal to v dot record ID, target fields equal to so and so, right? Target fields equal to so and so, fields equal to so and so, right? Now here I have taken as attribute new contact. This is of type data type contact. Now if it is of type contact, how do I refer? V dot contact dot last name, v dot contact dot first name, v dot contact dot email, v dot contact dot phone number. What are the attributes we have? What are the attributes? This is only for heading purpose we have taken. Banner on the top. So SLDS page header. Header we have taken. Right. Now look at the point. Lightning input. Yura, we know ID, name, label, value equal to so and so. It is a required attribute. Lightning input, first name, label, value required. If I don't define type, the type, what is the value? If I don't define the type, what type of value is taken? Text. If you are not mentioning the type, it will take like a text. The next we are trying to take email. For email, I don't want to write a validation rule. If I don't want to write a validation rule, you look at lightning input type equal to email. Automatically it checks the validations for this. Then input your phone, name, label, value. Anyone has any queries regarding these four fields? The concept is clear. So what did I do? I created two attributes. One is referring to a record ID. Second one is referring to contact. Data type is contact. What is the attribute name? New contact. How do you refer? V dot new contact dot last name. V dot new contact dot first name. We are taking this format. Then once I enter the data, when I click on the button, it has to invoke some action. So what I was giving, lightning button, create, on click, client side controller. When I click on this, client side controller. When I click on this, client side controller. Okay. We are giving when you give a client side controller, this will give an error message for us. So let us do one thing. Okay. Now, what is the controller we need to give? I was going for creation of a controller. What is that controller? We'll do one by one. First of all, whatever the new record you have created, look at this. If I want to create a record, I was supposed to call this method. What is that method called? Save record. If I want to call a save record, what will you do? If I want to call save record, if I want to call this, what I will do? C dot component dot get. If you want to call a apex class, how do you do it? Component dot get C dot save record. It will give where action equal to component dot get C dot save record. Then we are going to get. For that action, what are the parameters we have to pass? Contact and account ID. Now this contact I have to pass. Where is the contact? Contact we are taking from the form which you entered. In the form, you entered the values of a contact. Now what is the attribute? New contact. So how will you get it? Component dot get v dot new contact. It is going to give one contact. Similarly, we are supposed to get record ID. Component dot get record ID. Now what I am doing? Now I have to pass these two values as a parameter to the method. So what is our requirement? Get the v dot record ID, get the v dot new contact, then invoke component dot c dot save record. To the component action, I have to pass these two parameters. So how do you pass? Action dot set parameters. Okay, set parameters. What are the values I have given here? Set parameters. Contact. This is CON. Okay, colon that value. ACC ID colon that value. Then when you call this, I am going to give set callback. In the callback, this comma function response. Response state equal to success. Do this. Failure. Do this. This is the actual action what you are supposed to perform. Am I right or no? Okay. Let me do that. Okay. So what did I do? Look at the first. What is the first one? Invoke the method from. How are you invoking? Component dot. How are you invoking? Component dot get component dot get c dot save record. That save record is what? Method. That save record is what? Method from apex class. Am I right? Unable to understand your expression. Right. So component dot get c dot save record. It is a method of the apex class. Okay. Then once you have given this, what I need to do? Pass the parameters. What are the parameters? They are given contact, CON, ID. Pass the parameters. Pass the parameters. Then how do you pass? Read the value of new attribute, new contact, and pass it as read value of attribute. Alright. And pass it as in the form of right. So we are supposed to read component dot get v dot new contact. You're getting here ACC ID. New contact, component dot new contact, and component dot get v dot recording. Component dot get new contact, component dot get v dot recording. These two we are passing as new contact and account ID. Right. Then once you pass them as a parameter, then what should I do? I have to set the callback action. Now you created a save action dot set parameters. After setting the parameters, we are invoking a callback. Invoke the callback. Invoke a callback, and this callback is going to check the status of the response. If status is then print toast message as print this is how it will be. So what I am doing, we got a response, this comma function response. If the response is true, get the state. If state equal to success, then we are trying to print a toast message. How do you print a toast message? Tell me. $A dot get e dot force colon show. Am I right? If you want to create a toast message, $A dot get event e dot what is that? Force show toast. Then using the show toast, what you are supposed to do? Then what you are going to do? Fire the toast message. Create a toast. Set the parameters. The parameters also, how the parameters are told? Result toast dot set params title and message. Then we are going to fire. Right. Are you clear? So what I am doing? Once you have created this, close the quick action, fire the toast. Now why I have given this? Why we have given this? Once you have created, the quick action window should be closed, then the toast message should be printed on the header. Now I don't want to print a toast message on the on the quick action. So close the window. A new window is opened. When you click on the button, new window is opened. Close that window. Print the message on the record that whether it's success or record, success or failure. So what we are doing? Close the quick action window. How do you close the quick action window? Yesterday we already seen. Close the quick action window. How is that? $a dot get again get e dot force close the quick action. Then fire the toast message. Then again one more we are having. What is that? Refresh. Okay. It's not necessary, but it's okay. But what is the meaning here was check the status, close the window, print the toast. Close the window, print the toast. Now if there is an error, I want to print a message. There may be a single error, multiple errors. There may be a single error or multiple errors. Whatever the error we are getting, we are printing on. I can give. We are printing on console. If you want to remove this, I can simply say right. Then why did you give this NQ? Why did you give NQ action? Every action that is invoked from the Apex should be NQ'd for asynchronous operation. So look at the message once again. Everything that we have used here is a predefined. We already used all this functionality. What was that? Invoke a method from Apex class, set the parameters, give the callback action. In the callback action, check the status. Status is success. Then go for the toast message. When you are printing a toast message, close the action window, print a toast message, else some error message. Then what is the last one here? Look at the point. Apart from these, we gave one more action. What is the action? Cancel. When you click on the cancel, what should happen? Whatever the quick action window is there, that should be closed. Then how do you close? E dot force colon quick action, close quick action dot file. Just we want to close the window. If you want to close the window, what we are doing? Close quick action dot file. If you click on cancel, that quick action should be cancelled. Right. So this is how we have created. Now what are the elements we had? Apex class, which is trying to insert a record. Then form, through which I am taking a contact form. Then I am taking contact controller. We are invoking a server side. So it's a combination of Apex. Now a quick action with a record ID and client side with the toast message. Right, boss? Now how do you add this action now? How do you add this action? How do you add this action? If you want to add this action, go to the custom objects, object manager. This should be created from where? Account. Why account? We are taking that account ID. We need to take from account. Why account? We are taking that account ID. So go to account. If you get that account ID, then only I can create a contact for it. Then we are having buttons and links, new action, lightning component, contact form, create contact. Then this should be added to page layout. This should be added to page layout. How do you add lightning actions? Create contact. Then go to the application. Okay. So here, go to this. What is the option you're getting here? Create contact. When you click on this action, you're getting a window. So now this window is not having any header. This is not having any header. That is the reason I created a custom header. I created a custom header because I am removing without header, quick action without header. So enter the data. What is the data? I'll see here. No records here, right? Okay. You're not taking the values. Let me give once again input v dot contact dot last name, first name.
This in the contact A is missing.
There is a typo in the contact or last name.
Okay. Thank you. Let me refresh. Not allowing me to enter the data.
I think before initializing, you need to declare some. I think it will be storing null values. I think so.
Yeah, it will be storing null values, but it's okay. But even the null, it should be blank, right? But I will take in a phone number, which is a ABC. No, I already executed these programs in a predefined copy. So fine, let us try. So if you want to give a null values, how do you specify? S object type equal to. If you want to take a null value, what is the value we are going to take? S object type equal to. Just give me 1 second. Let me cross check. Let me cross check if anything mistake from my end. Let me cross check. check if I'm getting any array issue because of this required. It's not working, then I'll go for setting the value. Okay, same story. So how do you set the value of S object type? Now it is giving an error message that we cannot assign the null values to this. So how do you define the values of S object? How do you assign it? Type equal to object. We are supposed to give the properties in this format. We're going to give S object type, contact. Then we're supposed to give what are the other values? The fields, last name, but it's okay what it was supposed to insert, because I have done this without giving the null values. Still it is executed. So let's let me show you. Just I have done the same example here before I copied on to the account. Just copy pasting to avoid the errors. Let me check now. No. Right. So what is the solution I can give for this?
Can you refresh it again? Maybe it takes little time.
Let me check it out. Yeah. So this is the bug. But the issue is I already executed this program, then I copied it to the notepad. So let me check. Same program I have executed without being the null values. Let me cross check once again. Then what was the mistake from that side? What's the name I have given? So now let me complete. So we are going for this contact form. So we have taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Create. Go back. Refresh. Some issue here. Let me cross check. So go back. Yeah, I verified in the account. What was this? New this week. When was this record created? This is what I already have created the same example once before I showing execution for you. It's not the same new record. Okay. So the ID was not passed, if I'm right. Let me go back and create once again. So operation success. So basically, it's not executing my component. This issue. What is the form I created here? Contact form. Let me go back. It's not executing my element. This is a bug. So the component I have given is a contact form, but here it was taking. There's a reason why. That's what I was wondering. Basically, I have executed the complete form before I given this the classroom. Contact form only, right? Now, how do you debug it now? Let me check whether ID is getting passed or not. Then let me go to the controller and check out. Check out any case sensitive errors are here. So record. Right. This is the bug here. What is the parameter I'm expecting? What is the parameter I gave here? The 1 minute. The parameter we're expecting CON, but I gave a different parameter here. This is the first bug. Yeah. Where was that component? Line number? There's a console. It's okay. Now I added. So this first bug is the parameter name should be, I gave CON here, but I passed here
Typo in save record in Apex.
line number.
Apex.
Where was that?
Public static boolean save record.
Method name.
Method name. Okay. Right. Now let me go back and check out. I hope this should run now. Fine, let me check first. Not created. Okay. Then what will be the possible errors now? Let me check the log file. Go to the user.
Log errors we can see in a developer console also, sir.
Yeah.
The current logs. This user.
It's okay. It's okay.
So I think we don't need to.
Now if multiples are running, I want to check out from here. So let me go back. So go to account. Let me check any validations or anything I have prior to these. Let me cross check once again. So, okay. So let me go back to this.
Sir, in Apex controller side, can we remove the client catchback? So catchback need to be handled by using the as per the lightning
Yeah,
error messages.
you're right. But meanwhile, let me check it first. Lightning exception will be a different format, but let me check out. So invocation of the server side is not happening. So issue is with the server side is not getting invoked. cross check the file.
I think component level controller need to be mentioned. I don't think so that is mentioned. Controller name.
Controller name is mentioned already. If it is not mentioned at the time of saving, only it throws error message.
Contact creator.
Let me cross check. Cross check. Let me give an error message here and see what is happening. Any duplicate rules are there? Let me cross check. Should I enable any duplicate rules? Create. Create contact.
I think controller function you haven't given the correct way. Spelling mistake is there. In component, yeah.
The component level, if name is wrong,
Not here, not the controller, sir, not the function. When we are invoking the client-side controller,
the client side controller component name, class name we don't give it. We only give method name.
yeah, method name is wrong. Method name is wrong.
No, we are verifying. Save record. Save record.
No. Controller to
No,
the
wait.
component to the controller.
No, let me cross it.
So she is talking about the button action. Button action.
Client side action button name. Verify that also.
Yeah.
Button.
Typo.
C dot contact.
A is missing.
Right. So, what was the bug boss? The name of the button.
Name of the button.
Right. Fine. So this action almost took 20 minutes. So basically, I have done 3 mistakes here. The first mistake is save record. Here the mistake is. The first mistake was I was passing CON, but here I gave new contact, which was later rectified. The second one, some spelling was mistake. Somewhere I was missing a spelling here. Third one, majorly there is a typo error. So the functional wise is right, but there are some typo errors, so which has taken a lot of time to rectify it. So basically, what we have done, we have created a
Is the default value is mandatory for this?
that I have fixed out. Now it's not mandatory. I have implemented this without mandatory. Let me check it now. Contact creation successful. Right, boss? So I have executed this program without default values. That's why I'm confident like it is not required default values. Right, boss? So what all the bugs I have fixed from my end? The first thing, as I told you already, so it was expecting CON, but I gave here new contact. So it was not modified. And the second one, we had some spelling mistake near new contact or save record somewhere we had a spelling mistake. Third one is the major one, which stopped our operation is working. So why this error was not notified to me? Because you are invoking JavaScript, doesn't have a compiler. So we are looking at the functionality. So when there is an error, the first thing we look at is functionality is working fine or not. So rather than checking out the spellings, that's how it has taken a lot of time to rectify it. Right, chalo, that's all from my